After 60, there's one low-key decision that decides whether your legs stay solid for the next 20 years or slowly start giving out on you. And nope, it's not walk more. Today, I'm going to show you one single move you can do without even getting out of bed, a move physical therapists have quietly leaned on for decades to rebuild leg strength in people who can't walk comfortably, who are bouncing back from surgery, or who just want stronger legs without wrecking their joints. I want to be straight with you right off the bat. I'm not telling you to quit walking. Walking is great for your heart, your lungs, your mood, your circulation, and no argument there. But when it comes to one very specific job and rebuilding raw strength in your thigh muscles without putting a single ounce of pressure on your knees, and this bed move does something walking just can't touch. Stick around and subscribe because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why and exactly how to do it. But before I show you the move, I need you to check something first. There are 5 sneaky signs your legs are already losing strength and signs most people just wave off as getting older. If even one of these hits home, this video was made for you right now. 5 sneaky signs. Your legs are losing strength. These aren't dramatic. They don't come with a warning label. There's no moment where you wake up and think, yep, my legs got weaker today. Strength fades in tiny bits, so slowly that your brain quietly adjusts around it, until one day those adjustments become your new normal. That's exactly why these signs are dangerous. They're too easy to explain away, to blame on bad sleep, the weather, or just getting old. Let's run through them and be honest with yourself as we do. 1. You're pushing off the armrest to stand up. Think about the last time you got out of a chair. Did your hands do most of the heavy lifting? A few years back, you probably popped straight up without a second thought. When your hands start doing the job your legs used to handle, that's your quadriceps, the big muscles on the front of your thighs, quietly losing the strength to lift your body weight on their own. 2. Stairs went from a non-issue to a whole project. Maybe you pause at the bottom to psych yourself up, grip the railing tighter than you used to, or take them one at a time instead of two. Climbing stairs is one of the toughest asks we give our leg muscles. Every step means your quads are hoisting your full body weight against gravity over and over. It's usually the first place strength loss shows itself, simply because it's harder than almost anything else you do all day. 3. You feel shaky on uneven ground. Grass, gravel, a sloped sidewalk, stepping from tile onto carpet, things that never used to register at all are suddenly demanding your full attention. This isn't only about balance the way most people picture it. Weak thighs and hips make it harder for your body to catch itself quickly when the ground shifts even a little. And that split-second save is exactly what keeps a stumble from turning into a fall. 4. Your knees ache more after walking than they used to. Feels backwards, right? Shouldn't more walking help your knees, not hurt them? A lot of the time, what's really going on is that your weaker thigh muscles aren't absorbing and controlling impact around your knee like they used to. Strong quads soak up most of that impact. Weak ones let more of it slam straight into the joint itself. Walking isn't the problem. It's your body's way of saying the muscles around the joint need backup. 5. You've quietly started skipping things. Gardening on your knees, getting down on the floor with a grandkid and needing help back up. That short hike you used to love quietly dropped off the calendar. If you've caught yourself saying, "I'll sit this one out" more than you used to, that's not really about age like we tend to assume. Age doesn't take your strength directly. Inactivity does, usually because discomfort or nerves make you move less, which makes your muscles weaker, which makes things more uncomfortable, and the cycle keeps rolling quietly in the background. The good news, that cycle can, in most cases, be stopped and turned around. If you spotted even one of these in yourself, don't stress. Noticing is the hardest part, and you already did it. This is exactly what today's exercise is built to fix, for a reason almost nobody's ever laid out clearly. Let's get into it. Why this one bed move beats walking for one specific job. Here's an easy way to think about it. Walking is what's called a closed chain move. Your foot is planted on the ground, and your whole leg, hip, knee, and ankle work together like a team to move you forward. That's fantastic for coordination, balance, heart health, even bone density. Genuinely one of the best things you can do for your overall health, full stop. but it also means your knee joint is under constant load the entire time, carrying your body weight with every single step, thousands of times over the course of a walk. The move I'm about to show you works differently. It's called the straight leg raise, and physical therapists have used it for generations, often as one of the very first moves they give people bouncing back from knee surgery, arthritis flare-ups, or hip injuries, precisely because of what it doesn't ask the body to do. It isolates and strengthens your quads directly without asking your knee joint to bend, bear weight, or take any impact whatsoever. The muscle does the work. The joint gets to rest. Picture it like this. If your knee joint is a hinge on a door, walking is like swinging that door open and shut 1,000 times a day. Useful, necessary, your house genuinely needs it. But it does wear on the hinge over time, especially if that hinge is already a little worn, stiff, or healing from an old injury. The straight leg raise is like reinforcing the frame around the door without ever touching the hinge itself. You get a stronger structure holding up the joint, minus the repetitive wear that comes from actually moving it. That's exactly why this move can, in one specific and important way, outperform walking. For people whose knees, hips, or balance make walking rough or painful, this move lets you rebuild real strength in the muscles protecting your joints before you ever have to stand up, before you risk a stumble on a bumpy sidewalk, before you have to push through pain just to hit your daily movement. And for people who walk just fine with zero issues, adding it into your routine reinforces the muscles that make every step steadier, every staircase safer, and every stand up from a chair a little easier. Physical therapists have leaned on this move for ages, specifically because it targets your quads and hip flexors without stressing the knee, which is why it shows up so often in recovery programs after knee and hip surgery, and why it's often one of the very first moves prescribed after nearly any knee injury. If it's trusted enough to be the starting line for people rebuilding strength post-surgery, it's more than capable of being a solid daily habit for you too, surgery or no surgery. I want to be clear on one thing. This isn't a walking replacement, and I'm not telling you to swap one for the other. Think of it as the missing piece arao. The thing that makes walking, standing, climbing stairs, and everyday movement noticeably easier and safer, because the muscles doing the supporting work are finally getting some direct attention of their own. Now let me walk you through exactly how to do it, step by step, so you get the full payoff and none of the risk. How to do the straight leg raise step by step. All you need is your own bed and a couple of free minutes. No equipment, no gym clothes, no drive to a gym. Just you, your mattress, and a little focus. Step 1. Get set up. Lie flat on your back, bend one knee, keeping that foot flat on the bed, roughly lined up with your hip. Keep your other leg fully straight, resting on the bed in front of you, toes pointed gently toward the ceiling. Step 2. Engage the muscle before you lift. This is the step almost everybody skips, and it's the one that matters most. Before you raise that straight leg even an inch, squeeze the thigh muscle on top of it as though you're trying to flatten the back of your knee down into the mattress. Hold that squeeze for a second or two before you move anything else. You should feel your whole thigh light up, tight, and engaged, as if you're bracing it. This step is what separates a straight leg raise that actually works from one that's basically wasted. Skip it, and you're mostly just lifting from your hip, not building any real quad strength at all. Step 3, lift it slowly, keeping that leg totally straight and your thigh tight the whole time. Slowly raise it off the bed, up to roughly the same height as your other bent knee. No need to go higher than that. Going higher doesn't add any extra benefit. It usually just dumps extra strain on your lower back instead. This isn't about distance, it's about how controlled and strong the lift itself is. Step 4, hold it, then lower it slowly. At the top, hold for about 2 to 3 seconds, keeping that thigh tight the whole time. Then lower it back down slowly, resisting gravity the whole way instead of letting it drop. That slow lowering part, sometimes called the eccentric phase, is doing just as much work for your muscle as the lift. So don't rush it just because the hard part feels done. Step 5, repeat, then switch legs. Aim for 8 to 12 reps on one leg, then switch and do the same on the other. If that's too much starting out, 5 reps per side is a solid place to begin. There's no medal for pushing too hard too fast. The real goal here is showing up consistently over weeks and months, not going hard in any one session. A few form pointers that genuinely make a difference and are worth keeping in mind every time. Keep your lower back gently pressed into the bed the whole time. If you feel your back arching as you lift, you've probably gone too high, so bring the leg back down a bit until your back settles flat again. Breathe normally the whole time. Don't hold your breath through the effort, since that can spike your blood pressure for no reason. And keep the movement slow on purpose, start to finish. A leg that shoots up fast and drops just as fast gets far less out of the move than one raised and lowered like it's moving through honey, thick, slow, deliberate. If you feel sharp pain anywhere in the knee itself, stop and back off immediately. A gentle burn in the thigh, mild muscle fatigue as you hit your last few reps, that's normal, that's expected. Joint pain is not, and it's your body's way of telling you to dial it back, adjust the move, or check in with your doctor before continuing. 2 ways to make it easier, 2 ways to level it up. Nobody's starting from the same spot, and that's exactly how it should be. Strength, mobility, comfort, all over the map from person to person. And the beauty of this move is how easily it flexes to meet you exactly where you're at, not where you used to be. If it feels too tough right now, slide a small rolled towel or pillow under the knee of your straight leg before you start. Pressing down into that support first helps your thigh muscle fire up more easily and gives you a clearer starting cue before you attempt the actual lift. If it's still a lot, even with support, try it seated instead, on the edge of a sturdy chair, back well supported. Extend one leg out in front of you until it's straight. Hold briefly, then lower with control. Gravity works a little differently in this position, usually making it a touch gentler. Once it starts feeling easy and reps stop tiring you out, add an ankle weight, starting light at 1 to 2 pounds. Once you can complete 3 sets of 12 with good form and 0 strain. This small tweak meaningfully increases the strengthening effect over time without changing the joint-friendly nature of the move at all. Your knee still never carries any load, only the muscle does. For a bonus core kick, once the basic move feels natural, try holding the raised position for a slow count of 5 instead of the usual 2 or 3 seconds. That extra hold shifts more of the load onto your hip flexors and core stabilizers, giving you a wider strengthening effect from the exact same simple move with no new skills required. Whichever version fits you today, and it's totally fine if that's the gentlest one, the rule stays the same across every version. Slow, controlled, and consistent beats fast and forced every single time. There's no version of this move that rewards rushing. Making it an actual daily habit. One move done every once in a while whenever you happen to remember isn't going to move the needle much. That's just how the body works. Muscles respond to repeated, consistent signals over time, not one burst of effort followed by weeks of nothing. The real change happens once this becomes something your body just expects every day, the same way it expects breakfast, the same way you don't think twice about brushing your teeth. Here's a simple way to slot it into your morning. No extra pressure, no new chore piled onto an already full day. Right when you wake up, still lying down before your feet even hit the floor, do 8 to 12 straight leg raises per side before you even sit up. Your muscles are naturally loose and warm from sleep right now, and doing it here, in bed, before the day gets away from you means it actually happens, before later quietly turns into tomorrow, and tomorrow quietly turns into next week. Pair it with 2 easy side kicks that round the routine out. Ankle pumps, flexing your foot up toward you, then pointing it away 10 to 15 times per side, help wake up circulation in your lower legs after a night of lying still. And gentle knee-to-chest stretches, pulling one bent knee gently toward your chest, holding a few comfortable seconds, then switching sides, loosen up hips and lower back, which usually feel stiffest first thing before you've moved at all. Together, all 3 take under 5 minutes total, and they cover strength, circulation, and flexibility in one short routine that fits into even your busiest mornings. 3 to 5 days a week is plenty. More isn't automatically better. Muscles need recovery time just as much as they need effort. That recovery is actually when the strengthening happens, not during the move itself. If your legs feel genuinely tired the next morning, that's a normal sign of progress, not a red flag, but it's a solid cue to take a rest day and let your body catch up. Keep track of it simply and don't overthink it. A basic notepad by your bed with a check mark for every day you complete the routine does more for keeping you consistent than any app or fancy tracker ever could. Watching that string of check marks build up week after week becomes its own quiet motivation, small private proof you're showing up for yourself. Within 2 to 4 weeks of sticking with it, a lot of people notice that getting out of chairs feels less like a struggle, stairs feel steadier under their feet, and that background worry about my knees during everyday movement starts fading out, replaced by just moving through the day without a second thought. A few things worth being careful about. This move is widely considered one of the gentlest strengthening exercises out there, which is exactly why it's used so much in physical therapy clinics and post-surgery recovery programs. But gentle doesn't mean zero considerations. If you've had a recent hip or knee surgery, or you're managing an existing back issue, check with your doctor or physical therapist before starting any new routine. This one included a buao. Their advice should always come first over anything general you hear in a video like this. If you feel any sharp, shooting, or radiating pain, especially pain that travels down the leg instead of staying put in the thigh, stop right away. That's different from the normal dull fatigue of a working muscle, and it deserves real medical attention. If you have significant osteoporosis or a diagnosed spinal condition, ask a healthcare provider whether this move needs any adjustments for you before starting. And a general heads up that applies to any new routine at any age. Start with fewer reps than you think you need and build up gradually over a couple of weeks instead of all at once. Consistency beats intensity every time. Why this actually matters. It's easy to think leg strength only matters for athletes or for people who hike, run, or play competitive sports. But your quads do quiet, essential work every single day that you barely think about. Work that only becomes obvious once it's gone. They're what let you get up from a chair without a struggle, without bracing yourself first. They're what catch you when you stumble slightly off an uneven curb, correcting your balance before your brain even registers what just happened. They're what carry the groceries in from the car, get you in and out of the bathtub safely, let you kneel down and garden, and let you keep up with a grandkid across the backyard without a second thought. Strength training research keeps showing that the natural muscle loss that comes with age, sometimes called sarcopenia, isn't the done deal most people assume. It slows down and in a lot of documented cases actually reverses. With regular, appropriate strength work, even in people well into their 80s and 90s. Age is a factor, sure, but it's not the deciding one. Consistent, appropriate movement plays a massive role in how that story plays out for each person. The straight leg raise isn't going to build bodybuilder-size muscles. And it's not trying to, and that's totally fine. What it does is rebuild the specific functional strength that keeps you independent, steady, and capable of doing the things that actually matter in your daily life. The small, unglamorous, essential movements that make up an entire day and an entire life. That's really what this all comes down to once you strip away the technical talk. Not chasing some abstract fitness goal, not training for a competition, not comparing yourself to anyone else, just protecting your ability to live exactly how you want to on your own terms, doing the things and seeing the people you love for as long as you possibly can. Take care of your legs the same way you take care of everything else you count on every single day. Small, consistent effort now is what keeps you moving freely, confidently, and independently for years to come. See you in the next one.